right, what's going on, traders? In today's video, I'm going to break down how I turned $200 into $20,000 profit. This is not just from a combine. This is not just from a demo evaluation. This is money that was sent straight to my bank. Like always, we'll start off with the proof. Then we're going to get into the tools that I use, how I was able to do this. We're going to get into my strategy, and then we'll break down my risk management. Starting off with the proof, we're going to do a live login. I have just logged into the My Funded Futures dashboard. I'm going to be discussing these two accounts right here. These are my funded accounts with My Funded Futures. We can take a look at some stats right here. And if we scroll down, we can see that I started these accounts on August 10th, 2026. Sim funded accounts, we can scroll down some more. And actually, let me zoom out one so you guys see the full numbers right here. So in total, over the course of 4 days, on day one, I made 6.3K. Second day was break even. Third day, I made 2.6K. And on the fourth day, I made 4.4K. My net P&L, 16,300 times 2, over $30,000 in profit. But I don't even talk about the profit. In regards to money requested, money paid out, 11,300 times 2. Remember, this is off of two accounts right here. So we can switch to this one right here. We see the same exact thing. I copy traded these two accounts. And again, we see that number right here. Payout request, 11,300 times 2. That is $22,600. And we can take a look at some of the certificates right here. I requested 6 payouts from these accounts. So these are the same exact accounts. We can see the dates too. August 11th, August 12th. So I started these accounts August 10th, first payout 11th, 12th, and then I got moved to live on the 14th, which we can see right here. I spent $200 on these accounts. I withdrew over $20,000, and then I am now on a live account with My Funded Futures. We can take a look at the payouts, and we can see those two same accounts right here, 3738. We can scroll down some. So here we go. We see all the payout amounts right here. So that was the proof. There's a lot of fooders out there that are not transparent. They're flexing a bunch of demo gains, a bunch of fake profit. They never show any proof of payouts, live accounts, anything like that. So it is very important for me to show you guys that this is real shit. This is not something I'm pulling out of my ass, all right? So next up, we're going to discuss the tools used. And as you guys just saw, I briefly discussed the main one, which is My Funded Futures. So this is a prop firm. If you guys are new to this, there's a bunch of content out there explaining what a prop firm is, but basically what we do as traders, we pay a fee for a challenge, for an account. If you're able to pass it, they give you their own capital to trade with. It is a sim, it's demo. And then from there, if you're able to do well, you can get paid real money. And the two accounts that I used were the Rapid EOD accounts. I think these are honestly some of the best prop firm accounts you can get right now in the entire industry. My Funded Futures really cooked with this because these accounts allow daily payouts. They have end of day drawdown and they're pretty dang cheap. I'll drop a link in the description of this video if you guys want to read more about this plan. But basically what these guys offer are daily payouts, a 90% profit split, end of day drawdown in the funded account. There's no consistency rule in the funded account. There is a 4-day pass evaluation. The fastest you can pass the account and get funded is in 4 days. When that happens, there's real-time activation, which means you can start trading immediately with a no activation fee. And this is all for $126. And on release, these accounts had an additional discount. So I got 2 of them for about $220. And we can do the math. What is 200 bucks basically to 20K? What is the ROI on that? This is basically a 10,000% return, which is nutty. It is an insane ROI. Keep in mind, this was all done going from eval to funded to live in 8 trading days. 8 trading days. And this is why I say prop firms are some of the best ways to scale. So now let's get into the strategy that I've used to pass the evaluation and to get all these payouts. This is my HIT model, and it consists of 3 key steps. Now there's more that we're going to get into, but these are the 3 most important. The first is the time. I'm looking for this to play out during the New York session, and more specifically from 9 to 11 a.m. The second step is that there must be a higher time frame CRT. If you're unfamiliar with what a CRT is, I have videos covering it on this YouTube channel. And I'm primarily looking for this to happen on the daily chart, on a 4-hour chart, hourly chart, or sometimes even on a 15-minute. After identifying the higher time frame CRT, I will then drop down to a lower time frame, and I'm going to look for a change in the state of delivery. So for example, if I find a 15-minute CRT, I will use the 5-minute or a 1-minute chart to look for a change in the state of delivery. If I see the CRT occur on the 4-hour, then I can use a potential 15-minute change in the state of delivery. But all I'm doing is dropping down to a lower time frame and I'm hunting for a change in the state of delivery. I spent years grinding, years failing, years struggling, and I could confidently say this is one of the most underrated strategies any trader can use. And it helped get me to that next level, to go from blowing live account after live account after live account. Because keep in mind, I was trading before the prop firm days. I didn't have the luxury of spending a couple $100 to get some crazy ROI return. No, I was losing real money on a really nasty, consistent basis. So to go from that to now getting consistent payouts, running at my own live account, getting moved to live with these different prop firms, a huge reason as to why has been because of the HIT model. So here we are on the charts. We're going to go over some trade examples, some trade setups. So before we do that, I'm going to break down the HIT model a little bit more in depth. So first of all is the time. I'm going to be looking for my entry during the New York session. More than likely, it's going to occur between 9 to 11. Sometimes it may occur from 2 to 4 p.m. But this is like my main trading time right here. Next up is the liquidity sweep. So this can be from a CRT setup, or it could just be a buy side and sell side sweep. Next up is a higher time frame key level. Majority of the time it's going to be a CRT because this is a huge requirement for this model. Again, it's on the 4-hour, hourly, 15 minutes, sometimes even the daily chart. I'm then going to drop down, look for a lower time frame change in the state of delivery, which just gives me confirmation of a change in trend. From there, I'm going to look for an order block or a fair value gap. This can be a SIBI, a BISI, an inversion, a BPR, and I'm going to use that as my entry. My stop loss is going to be set at the invalidation of the setup. It's not going to be based off of, oh, I need a 10-point stop because I can only risk $100. There's not going to, no. My stop loss is always based on the invalidation of the trade setup. So this can be at the invalidation of the CRT on the higher time frame, or at the invalidation of the lower time frame premium or discount arrays. And lastly, I'm looking to take profit. My TP is set at the opposing range of the higher time frame CRT or at the opposing liquidity. A majority of all my trades are a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2. Now there are times where I'll hit a 5R, 6R trade, but that is not my goal. I'm not aiming for high RR trades. I'm looking to stack and compound base hits. So now let's get this out of the way and we are going to go over our first setup. This is a trade that I took on the funded accounts. It's the same setup that I'm looking for on evals and combines when I'm getting funded. So here we go. This is the 15-minute time frame. There was a CRT that we formed here on NQ, and this is on Monday, August the 10th. This is one of the first trades that I took on those funded accounts. So at this point in time, we can see that NQ formed a CRT. ES had ripped up. ES had cleared out the buy side. So we had some SMT. SMT is not something that is a staple of my strategy. But when I notice it, I got to acknowledge it. It's not something that I'm going to ignore. So while ES was ripping up, clearing out all the buy side that had formed overnight during London, NQ was a lot further away from it. NQ was about 120 points away. And because of this, I was able to realize it was pretty obvious that NQ was a lot more weak. NQ is weaker. And so if I wanted to short, I'd be looking to sell NQ. I wouldn't be looking to buy NQ. If I wanted to buy, I'd be looking to buy ES and vice versa. Let's see if we can head on over to ES at the same time. So yeah, here we go. So at the same time, right over here, we can see that ES was pushing up. We can fast forward some and we see how ES cleared out the buy side. Okay, so ES had cleared out the buy side. We had some SMT. Meanwhile, NQ, and you can see we were a lot more weak. Okay, so going through our little checklist, first off is the time. Well, this is between 9 to 11 during the New York session. Perfect. Next up is a CRT. This can occur on a 4-hour, hourly, 15-minute. We had a CRT setup here on the 15-minute. Next up, which is a little bit of a bonus confluence, we had SMT. NQ is a lot more weak than ES. And then from here, I'm going to drop down to a lower time frame to hunt for a change in the state of delivery. Since I was using a 15-minute CRT, I dropped down to the 1-minute chart. And again, I'm looking for displacement in the opposing direction that confirms a change in the state of delivery, a change in trend. We had a little bit of a change in the state of delivery here. I wanted to see how price would react during that third candle. Got some displacement lower. We formed a change in the state of delivery. We also formed an inversion. This is occurring within a city. So we had a BPR right here. This is a balanced price range. BPRs are extremely powerful PD arrays. So then once price was able to retrace up into this BPR, balanced price range, inversion, city, I entered into a short. My stop loss was not just above these premium arrays, the order block and the imbalances. It was at the second candle, C2, at the high of it. Because we are in a CRT, that swing point that formed on the second candle should not be violated. So this is the invalidation of the setup. And I was targeting the opposing range of that higher time frame candle. And we can fast forward, play this through. Beautiful delivery lower. I was in a little bit of drawdown. We had some back and forth for what it's like 5-10 minutes. And then we can see there's a little bonus right here. There's some good sauce that we had our distribution lower. Let's mark out the time right here. When did this drop occur? When did it start? 10:50 a.m. So this is during the 10:50 to 11:10 macro. This setup was forming just before the macro, which is like a big signal to me. It's like flashing lights. That's basically what it is. It's like there's a high probability we're going to get that delivery during this macro, during this time. Why? Because it's the macro. During macros, we see volatility injected to the marketplace. So a really simple trading strategy. We had our sweep, which is formed by the CRT. This is all occurring during that New York session. We then had our displacement, which formed a change in the state of delivery. And then this formed a BPR, inversion, CIVI. Got my entry off of those premium rays. Stop loss at the invalidation. My take profit was at the opposing range, the opposing liquidity, and we see that beautiful delivery. So we'll take a look at another example. This is the 4-hour chart. And so we had a higher time frame liquidity sweep. We cleared out this buy side. Not only that, we also formed a 4-hour CRT. So this is our first candle. Second candle took out the high, closed within the range. We can anticipate this third candle to open and dump. People were asking, why are we dropping? Why are we dropping? If you guys are online, you guys will see a lot of people, oh my gosh, why is NQ dropping? UCRT. UCRT is going to help out a lot. So we'll drop down to a lower time frame here. Dropping down to a lower time frame, there's a few things we want to mark out. So it is that second candle, high or low. In this case, since we are in the CRT short, we want to mark out the C2 high. This candle should not be violated. We should not trade up through this high. If so, then the CRT is invalidated. I'm then going to look for a change in the state of delivery. I want to see displacement in the opposing direction to form a change in trend. We did create a change in the state of delivery here. So I wanted to look for, during this 10 a.m. open, I wanted to see could price start to react off of the premium raise. If we fast forward a little bit, we can see that we got a pretty clean rejection off of that order block. After rejecting this order block, we see that rejection right here. Price formed another bearish order block. And when the order flow is bearish, we tend to see price use the up close candles as resistance and vice versa. So once we formed this order block, we had the candle closure right here at 10:14 a.m. As soon as price retraced into it, I entered into a short. My stop was at the high, and I was looking at TP down at the opposing range. You could have your stop loss at the C2 high for that CRT, the 1.3R trade. However, my stop was at the high of the order block because we had already rejected an order block. So I wouldn't want to see price trade back up. We already rejected it right here. This is that rejection that we had at 10:07 a.m. So the fact that we already rejected it, there's no point, there's no reason for price to trade back up. If we do that, well, there's a probability that we're just going to clear out those highs. Then we can fast forward. Beautiful delivery, rejection off of those order blocks, first order block, second order block, clearing out and completing that higher time frame CRT. We'll also engage with some of the sell side liquidity. So now let's discuss risk management, specifically for prop firms. This is something that comes up a lot. All right. First and foremost, prop trading is not the same as live trading. A lot of traders are unable to get payouts because they get the two confused. Traders are taught, okay, on a live account, risk 1% or even less than that. Risk no more. Like an aggressive trader on their live account is risking 3%. That is not the same with prop trading. It's not going to work, especially with futures accounts. And the reason why is because you can't forget the purpose of prop firms. It is cheap leverage. You are spending typically around $100 for $2,000 in drawdown. So even though I have access to 2K, this is not my risk. My risk is $100. And with the capital that I have, $100 is like the equivalent of like 0.0001 or something like that percent. So this is my real risk. I'm risking so little when I purchase a prop account. And because of this, I'm optimizing my risk for prop firms. So I'm typically going to risk 25% to 50% of the entire drawdown with prop accounts. So with a 50K account, you have 2K in drawdown. All right. I'm going to risk 25 to 50% of this amount. So on each trade, I'm going to risk around 500, and depending on the setup, I may even risk 1K, because you can't forget one thing. This is not my real risk. My real risk is $100, which is really, this is not much. It's not that much at all. So let's just say that I spend $1,000 on 10 evals. So with $1,000, I'm able to buy 10 accounts. From those 10 accounts, if I can get a 1K payout from one, I basically break even. So I could fail 9 accounts, and then on that 10th account, I can get paid 2K, and I'll be up in profit. So this is a little bit of my thought process behind risk management with prop firms. And you'll see a majority of, I would say nearly 90%, 95% of all the profitable, consistently profitable prop firm traders, they have a similar model to this, where it's basically they're using prop firms for cheap leverage, and they're risking a good amount of the drawdown in order to get paid. They're not going to be trading with one micro. Some of the most successful, you're not going to see them trading with one micro unless they have like 50 or 100 funded accounts. 50, 100 funded accounts. It makes sense. Okay, you're going to use like a couple micros. And don't get it twisted. I am a huge advocate for micros. I love micros. I've gotten payouts for using micros. I've run up my live account using micros. I'm just trying to convey to you that a reason why a lot of traders fail using prop firms is because they do not optimize for them. They treat prop accounts like a live account. And that's just not the case. So this is exactly how I turned $200 into $20,000 day trading futures in the span of 8 trading days. Now, there's one thing that's extremely important, is that I created a 23-page rulebook for completely free. And in this PDF, I break down the exact setup in depth, showing examples, trade recaps, and a step-by-step guide that is meant to help boost your trading. And to get this rulebook for completely free, all you need to do is click the link in the description of this video. And with that, thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, you are a real trooper, you're a real G. Share this with all your trading friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, make sure to ask in the comment section below. I'll be answering all of them. So until next time, it's been your boy Hit. Good luck and good trading.